you are. You just need to find out who you are. Are you truly the child of God? You are the child of God, of course. But what is the things that hinders your life? Ashin that I can see why no del kukula gomma. Private thing alebe. Because why no del you need to check yourself. Yourself. Are you living truly as a child of God? And rishkalla boy no gonibe. So why no nima si that eko and nango kolilu ay weles kinol go smash no. Kokala si and naur ki da bubu fa shabnito nenke. But always you see a lot of distraction. Where these distractions are coming from? I sabta si kokala si fana ki arta ko Facebook ko kal channel gonia ashno Facebook wa nitkema you are idolizing the Facebook in your life. So ashno Facebook wa idol kishana nitkema you spend a lot of hours on Facebook but you can't spend a lot of hours on reading the Bible or prayers. So you see there is something has not been balanced. So those things it always triggers your blessing. It will hinder your blessing. So you have to examine yourself. Say how I am using my time, how I'm spending in the presence of God. What are the things that become sin in my life that I am living still in those sin and without acknowledging them, without fixing them, that I am moving forward. So those things it will always destroy your life. When I de way no de bushkuske will kesona si shosuna kitab ket sal kantiya abri lushoda tibiliap kosuga mumma asheko dagsiya la shina muaki amboskola makella eli smakasha gujwa mentibesa Samuel orkmi alkitoki batti prophet shaman intimala wen kashwa ikdede bare kinnake dedena stibliabi itatu mannur kumala so unu kasha kisha gos dedo ay wino mangelo kabganka awano da fitet kanyo wagwa kin ko tibili tabu kolikngado konki ay komino annam hesum sana kusanke so an hesum sana na komin gomalash no annando ko shishni komalda elisana dagsi dinesin akur kiyama kantina. So di mala responsibility kakanes ke dede si kos ke tidagsi ala en nimini mo dede onti komninga so di mala data ken ko kala no dabbe ke oti gomya e ken woni tibilio de folo komnin ay satasi en de di mala dagsi ngala shodik an samad na ka kona shodina shodiki sho maka kona shodina shodiki an da anna nga datu ay kakakalajina shodina shodiki mangel wagat kakakalajina shodina enoko nisham ko kalwa de ke anan ko kala awa ko kala ashangi ko kan mashana ki olajina skimni enedim ko shodat ni kaneja dede ko shotat ko lajina eli lakin ko nga daki kashak shagoski iwino ikke awano dalana ikke ki ishama fitet kandidat ko minki annam goks masana ko sanke ko mal daki anna eli dag sasi akuriki yake ay sabtas dag solutions ki shamme kashagu jak shagoski lusha bugong esumme annam mudam kallugong esumme so di mala anna dag singala responsibility andan de asum. So di mala wayna de ula kos dan ko goshkin ke ay kallino ko su annam esm lusho dal kan gonabe mangel ko sham date na binna ka koino gonabe eli kishe awano dal wayno gomeli ka sham de ko kida gos israel agaresi anna mangel wayno da kalal wagat ki kogi anna tibil kisas gosumka lakin wayn dato tibil ab agonge summino ikke shinin ko shake dag si shinin shak fan komal daki anna samuel biksas ke eli kishe dag salana ay mangela muabes. So di malash no ashes na udanong siya eme responsibility and the menike ay ko la budag se gongemu eke or kumel ko si makande eke si anor ko mat me kona si you have 100% responsibility me kana ki anor ko mat me kona sant ko goshken ke liki ko malda dag si bushkus ko ke an damaki e dag sat foski ke so di mal anda dedes na udanong ko siya it's very important to be obedience for your parents ashe safai dem shana si ando ko kineke I after see one of things that will defile your body will that la kulation is can ulano like elashno when you become a disobedient toward your parent and toward it God of heavens and kuyabatana lagan ki nemanno asiko afai dite meshago mala you will defile yourself. So disobedience always lead to rebellious tomorrow so national afai dit and extremely shamako wagat ganuna skimni wayna ki an nalawan kila dalado kabu adagat ke ulana so ando ko gosh kinike di mal ashe safai de mishaki or kumi al wayno gomala annas me kailom wayno doino gomya ashe tella mishaki annasi haru muna shomuna elikshe wayn iwe to ko shakan hedo akalla gamuna udabu iwasi na faidit mishaki de iwana tibliya bi tato masabata as elikshe na annas famumme ko shak so waynaki elidag sa tamangel ki koke idwaynaki an alalo da elidag sat ki kom kitab ke sal nintu gonian nahar arte ko an dama wen ko koke abri annam koshin manno di biskus kila ma ke ella nano saul koske saul asan nas fa sum annan na kiminis mike annam muda mo opposite kiminke so analis kintiki saul simin dar to ki sin heske dita saul itik shomme Anakin fayadakin badal fitet at kejike. So God is not looking for your sacrifice. No matter how many times you came to church, the most important thing is, are you obedient before the presence of God? Your obedience is respond always. When you are responding by obedience, that is what makes God excited or pleases God. So when they are fake the corner, your obedience toward God, obedience to your parent, that is what will bring blessing into your life. When they are show that we know that corner is show. So na so di mala afaid me shagongumala de des na udana kusia, that is going to change your life. Because the children that you're going to have in future is going to reflect who you are and how you treat your parents. So consecration wayna king di mala dagsi ak me binkule anki kosanki dagsi at lingom mala anang keki shamman kosia wayna that why de mesus ki gamuna shomna ay sabtasi idol ko shamadat anumye kanye fogade oksini mas kanye fogade nisha something that is represent of idols. So anything that become idols means something that will take away your time more than you spend in God's presence, that you will spend your time in meaningless things that eventually that will affect your life. Koma dalaki will affect kemnima, that is idol. No matter how you call it, it's going to remain idol because it is taking God's time from you. So you guys need to consecrate your life because you have to discern what is the things that always is stagnating your life. Waina uleala anide gada sikola kosum dato aishbes waina kosa menti gomala waina ki me binklusho da me gangomalde ko fek damon. So waina me min gommo kal de adi mala anide gata at be tawde ata ko fek da andik shake sobbu. Maida meto gamuna shomuna waina eli aninti waina eli daxial data te ko susum sabata asishno komal daki annadama daxiat ko Saul nintiana anna sifaya suran badala na bach ke smoke atiliske fitet ramin ke smoke atilis gasmal komal dak anna dak de kay mino Saul se kalas na ko bekskan. This is why God has destroyed King Saul. He was disobedient before God. Always he was running only just for sacrifice. His heart is always want to make sacrifice. Sacrifice without obedience is nothing. This is why the Samuel remind him, Prophet Samuel, he was reminding, says, God is not blessed by sacrifice. Sacrifice without obedience is nothing. When you do sacrifice, when you come to the church and without listening to your parent, without doing what God wanted, it is meaningless. You're coming to church is just like a religious person who just knows about God but never lives in what he knows. So dimal annangab nitaki da it will never freeze you. Knowing about God, it will not freeze you. It will freeze you when you practice what you know. You see, like going to school, you learn about the nurse, but you have never applied. It doesn't mean it is you are not using, you are not helping anybody because you just know it, but you didn't put in practice. Nobody's going to trust you. So as long as you put in practice, people they're going to trust you, and you are going to work in right spot. So it's very important what you know. It must be work in your life. Nitikem dato adi mala uleala na foske somik sheya waina le de kofek dana taudana anid gadana maidik shake sona. So di mal waina kanti anna di mal koshish shikanda koshish tamat ko annam faya mummesi kugur kisa mema ki elashno annas itibliabu osamme annas tibliabu osamme. So hedial waino mun henke waino dia hedial waino munasui kota maide imesashno shigid ko kala binaki binke. Mangelo abinakibing. So di mala, how can we live a consecrated life? I call a bulushos kishamoino doino din share. Daily you need to examine yourself where I am. You have to look to your parents. If you guys not living right, you just need to call to your parents or your family. You guys need to fix it. You say, hey, we are a Christian, but we are not doing these right things. Let me fix it. Because you know why? What you have not fixed it, tomorrow your children, they're going to follow the example that you have created in your life. The parent that is following you is going to follow your children. So if you want really to walk in blessing of God, make sure the parent that's following your life need to be stopped on you. Because so what you stop is not going to continue to your children. So the blessing you will experience, the blessing of God, the breakthroughs that you want to see. And then your children, they will see more breakthrough and blessing, and they will acknowledge God's presence in their life. So what you want to see in your children, make sure what you want to see, do while you are living with your parent. If you become disobedient to your parent, one day your children, they're going to be disobedient to you. Everything what you do while you are living with your parent, one day your children, they're going to respond to according to what you have been doing. Because, whatever what we do is going to follow us. This is why we have to dedicate ourselves to consecration. Always live to God. So, don't follow the lust of flesh. Those they have a satisfaction for the moment. They will satisfy, they will make you happy. But still, even what you satisfy in that sin, there is a consequence that will come to you later, even if you don't see it at the moment. Is going to follow you. So you say, oh, nothing happens to me, but it's going to happen. Even the same thing, Eve was eating from the fruits, but at the moment it doesn't happen until Adam has eaten from the apple. Then what has happened? It came the fall. So don't see everything what you do at the moment. If you don't see any consequence, trust me, after a while is going to come the consequence. When the moment you want to try to do a new things, you will see setback, stagnation, challenge. You know why? Now what you have been sowing, it's coming to you. What you have been playing, now it is trying to fight you back. Now you're trying to run away from what you have been doing. But now the greatest challenge you are going to face is what you have been doing now is going to fight you more than what you have done before. So di mala da tesi hydro island ki shamme da bu mewime kos kati dato is hydro island ki shamme da bu in dato kal mesa gamme ai saptasit hydro cement ni tifane ke kula bu wen dato emesin ekesin kisana ai tagamina me masuna ki me kulanga da mai emesin la do ka bina ki min komalda wen dato akim me shamelajin hem fana kala wen ekera ni min nishimakin wena nigad nishana zarbin wa antagim chake son ai sabtasi enedea newama